I think we're all.
We are live with Anno Domini. This is the 16th episode, and it has been far
The
too
16th
long.
episode, but like the third year, I think.
Well, we've been doing it. We've been doing this campaign for a year and two.
Oh my gosh.
2 months now.
And
About
we've
Really?
made 16 sessions.
and we've only done 16 sessions.
That's averaging
Oh,
better than one a month.
It is better than one a month, but
That's
not by much.
better.
Considering everything that's happened in the interim, I would say that's pretty
yeah.
good.
Now, hopefully,
I don't know.
we'll have some level of consistency moving forward. Hopefully. But also I'm taking a bunch of trips in the next 2 months. So
I was gonna say I don't know that anything's changed that would give us any hope.
yeah.
So what you're saying is, never mind.
Mainly, I guess my real hope is that if we don't play Anno Domini, we do one shots instead. I that's what I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that we do consistent things.
Something.
Yeah,
I
consistent
would
something.
love that.
Yes. I one of the things I really want to do in this new year, it's 2020, you know, thinking about the new year, and is like, make a more concerted effort to do interesting, cool one-shots and explore systems and settings and ideas that we haven't been able to explore yet. And also get other people that maybe wouldn't do a campaign with us but would be free for a one-shot to do it with us. That's what I'm hoping for 2020. Because we have a few people on Twitter already that have volunteered themselves.
I have some friends who are interested.
Sure all of us have friends that we can
guarantee you I'm not going to be able to pin them down for more than a session.
Exactly, yeah. So one shot it is with that sort of thing.
Well, I imagine they're not going to want to come back for a second session if you pin them down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Considering I've done martial arts with these people, and part of our training was jujitsu,
there you go.
There is precedent.
There is
What are you talking about?
And we're still friends.
Anyways.
Okay, well we're gonna jump into this thing. Anno Domini, our D&D campaign. We're back and better than ever, and we're gonna play some D&D. So, as just a brief recap of what in the heck has happened.
Oh, thank goodness.
What even in the heck has happened since we last played, or not since we last played, but to review what has happened in this campaign because it's been a while. Well, first, let's do this. Let's have everybody go around, introduce their characters, so everybody knows like what's going on with you guys, and then I will fill in some plot holes, not plot holes, but plot that we've forgotten. Connor, who you're playing?
I am playing Ulrich Swain, who is a fighter raised by a crazed wizard, and I am a level 4 fighter now.
Yes? Question mark?
Okay.
Did anyone level up last time? I don't think so.
I'm level 5.
I leveled up to 4.
Yeah.
Then I must be level 4 then.
David is
or 5.
But...
I don't know.
I don't.
What's 6,500?
No, Jared, I'm pretty sure you got to level 5 because I'm pretty sure we're like the same level, and I'm level 5.
Yes.
What's 6,500?
Well, you have
I'm at 6,800.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll double check that.
Yeah, that's because mine is 7,450 is my is what I have, I think. Wait, no, that can't be right. Wait, what?
That's got to be your target.
6,500 is the cap for 5. Yeah, so you're level 5.
Okay.
So go ahead and real quick on your character sheet, just click that thing next to your experience points, the character master level up.
Okay.
What's the cap for level 5?
To level up stuff.
This is okay.
So to get to level 6.
If you have any questions, you can ask. 14,000.
Holy cow! All right, so
Yes,
that is how much
it bumps
experience
up.
I have then.
You have. Wait, how much experience?
7,450
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds right.
14,000. Well, at least I can make 2 attacks.
You can indeed.
I don't have to wait for that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's true. Alrighty then. So, Ulrich Swain.
Yes.
Good stuff. Erastus Camber, who are you?
I play Erastus Camber. He is a fallen ASMR, which in this setting I guess means he's Greek.
Well, Roman.
Noble. Right. Although they're not actually around anymore, right? technically.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wait, were you Greek and then you were just part of the Roman Empire?
I think
your family was like Roman praetors or whatever who moved to England when they were in control. But I think your heritage is technically Greek. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a paladin. He did worship the dead gods of
Olympus.
What's that?
Olympus.
Yeah. And now he worships a forest cat. And
he does indeed
brought him back to life.
Let's be real, guys. We all worship the forest cat.
True.
Pongervon forever.
Speak for yourself.
That's right.
Forest cat brought him back to life after being critted in this first fight of the game and killed.
It happened.
And failing 12 death save rolls in a row.
Yep.
Because that's how I play RPG games.
Yep.
And then I got some cool gear from a Fae that we met, who I made promise that he'd come kill me someday. And then
I have him in my back pocket. Don't worry, he'll arrive when you least expect it.
And then there were some zombies, and I told the little kid, because this is a thing that I have to do in every campaign apparently, where a kid wants to train with me and I say no, and then he somehow crits, which has literally happened both times. And then he had 4 health and died, which did not happen in the last game we played.
Yeah, that's true. Ziva is still alive, technically.
Getting a young boy killed is not nearly as sad as getting a young girl killed, so it didn't matter as much.
Fair.
And
he's true,
dead.
But it's sad.
It's true.
Yeah.
So that's Erastus, who's just been trying to get home the whole time and has not even gotten close to it yet. So
it's true. You still have like a palace, and
I have a keep that my uncle runs, who I'm sure I won't have to kill at all. And I have 2 NPC characters that I got for my background that we haven't even met yet because they're there.
True.
So,
it's true. Don't worry, we'll get there eventually.
Yep.
Speaking of getting there eventually, Josh, who do you play?
I play Donan McKentigern. He is a dwarf cleric level 4, or dwarf priest level 4. Sorry.
Well,
playing
cleric
too much.
Is the class?
It is cleric.
Yeah.
I have been playing too much MMO.
Priest would be what it would be in an MMO.
Priest would be in World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, yeah.
Final Fantasy would be a white mage.
There you go.
So Donan worships storm spirits, raised in a monastery of sorts, and has set out to journey, adventure, and generally got himself caught up in stopping a demigod from ascending to godhood. So he's kind of distracted by theological matters while everyone else is just trying to get to a castle to kill an uncle.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
The world.
Speaking of killing uncles, Marmaduke Briggs, who are you?
Whose uncle did I kill?
No, I just like.
No, I was about to say,
making
non
sequitur segues.
My character, I forgot.
I'll take awkward segues for 5.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100.
I am one Marmaduke Briggs, and he's trying to understand the secrets of the universe.
It's true. Is he
The one and
succeeding?
only
Not very much. But...
Well, more than some, less than others.
A more ambiguous statement has never been spoken.
And he has a dancing crab named
He does.
King.
Emperor.
Yes.
It's close.
Well, they're both types of crabs. I forgot which pun I went with.
Cool. Well, speaking of types of crabs,
Ooh, Caleb. Ooh. That was a rough one.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. I don't even want to go there. Caleb.
If you're taking this to any dirty place, I don't want to hear about it because that's not how I was intending it. Lisa Glade Michier, who are you?
I'm just sitting here trying to think
I know.
of why evil people come up with weird things.
How else could you have meant that? I can't think of any other way you could have meant that.
I don't even know what you're implying.
I still don't.
I literally
don't
just meant the actual crustaceans known as crabs.
Okay, sure. Moving on.
Y'all have
Anyway.
to
So
get your
confused.
minds out of the gutter.
Lisig is a halfling druid, level 4, and I'm trying to remember everything that I've already revealed about her and what I haven't. She
wants to be a rogue, right?
I mean, basically, her background's a spy, and she's decent at stealing things. I'd like to say she's good at it, and she would too, but my rolls have proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Playing rogues in any RPG ever?
But I think I've revealed that she got basically banished from her like druid circle that she's a part of.
Yep.
But that's, I think, as much as I've
revealed.
Yeah.
Yep. Very true. Okie dokie. So we're here with Anno Domini, and what happened last is you guys were grinding through the sewers like an MMO, defeating all the mobs, all the undead.
Was the priest alive?
He was,
Don't
yes.
remember. He was. Okay, I can make a goal about him then.
Yep. You managed to find the priest, and we're going to time skip ahead to when you get back to the Pictish shrine that you guys had put the shrine that the priest came from, and which you left the children that you saved from the Feywild at. These children were originally the inhabitants, along with their parents that are now trees, of a certain village in Sherwood Forest that you guys stumble across after trying to steal from a nobleman and failing. And so you guys, did a lot of stuff. You guys went to the Feywild, you saved some children, you found out Oberon's trying to become a god, you realized
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, you realized that Pongerban became that god instead. He's now the god of the forests, which Erastus worships.
That's weird.
And then you guys were like, hey, we got all these kids. We got to, take them someplace safe. And you guys fought a bunch of undead. You guys got back to the real world, realized it had been like 6 months since you were here because time works differently in the Feywild. You made your way through undead and got to Nottingham. Realized it was all in a shambles because there was an undead apocalypse happening, apparently. Undead are just roaming around everywhere. Everyone has blamed, at least in Nottingham, has blamed Quelnescent of this undead apocalypse. But y'all have your private suspicions as to what's actually happening here. And so you guys found a shrine that Donan was aware of to keep the... I think it was the shrine that you used to work at. I think, maybe.
I think I...
Yeah, he knew one of the guys.
Or at the very least, you knew one of the guys.
Studied here. I
Yeah,
didn't work. I studied here for a while.
Sense. Yeah. And so you guys took the children there, and the guy in charge of it was like, all right, sounds good. We'll keep them as long as you do this quest for us. And then you guys were like, all right, sounds good. We got to finish this other side quest first. And you guys went to Quelnescent's tower. And that's where you fought a demon ape, and Marmaduke came back and gave everybody gifts. So just as a reminder, y'all have like special gifts from Marmaduke that you still haven't really done anything with.
What was my gift?
I think people ate my magical banana, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
ate
gave
that,
the banana to
children.
the children.
Yeah.
They will all become gods.
They all get plus 0.1 strength.
Exactly. Yeah.
You had the rock of throwing.
Yeah, the +1 rock of throwing.
That is.
Yeah, but that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it's +1 and it's spiritually
magical.
bound to you. Whenever you throw it, it comes back to you.
If you run into any enemies that are resistant to non-magical slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning, you can throw the rock at them.
Or if they're
Except that you have a magical
All right.
sword, so it doesn't matter. But if you didn't have a
Right.
magical sword, you could throw a rock at them.
If I remember correctly, Donan got a
tankard
mug,
of some kind.
yeah, that can make any type of alcohol inside of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Any
that's right.
kind? Can't you just make like the most expensive kind and live on that
Sure.
forever?
Yep.
Sell it forever?
Yeah, because magic items in D&D are broken.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's true.
Or no
They're
one's
only
denying
balanced
this.
for killing things. They're
Exactly.
not balanced for sitting
remember
down and
the
having
magical-
See,
Effect
you're
of-
getting it all wrong. It might be able to make any kind of liquor, but it's not the same. They've all got this sort of a messy, sweet, heady overtone throughout the whole part of it. It's just not right.
A true connoisseur of alcohol would notice the difference and would not pay top dollar for it.
Precisely.
Sell it.
It's the sort of cheap McDonald's knockoff.
Yep.
You might see.
But think about
It's
how many
like-
people go to McDonald's.
Happening.
Just sell it to those people.
It's like you go overseas and you find this, and it's definitely Legos. It's branded like Legos. But then you take it out of the box, and it's all wobbly and sideways and not the right shape, and you're like,
Yep. I have some of those.
almost, but you got it entirely wrong. Do it over.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, Lisig also had a quiver that magically generates like 3 arrows
right.
at a time, but when she shoots them, they scream at her.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They become aware of their
right.
impending
They become
doom
aware of their impending doom and then die as soon as they hit. Yep. Also, just as a reminder, to catch up everybody, you all have curses on you, also from Marmaduke.
Oh yeah.
Erastus still does not know his, though he does know it is abjuration magic of some sort. So stuff that would like prevent people from going a place, or barrier or something.
Do we know mine properly, or only?
Yes. If you roll a 13 on a d20 roll, something around you explodes.
That's
breaks.
right. And it has yet to trigger. On all of this time I've carried it.
It's triggered
It
3 times, but only in the session you weren't aware of its existence and you didn't notice that it happened.
He didn't notice the explosions?
No, I randomly described. Well, it wasn't, again, not explosions. I misspoke. Like things breaking. So I randomly described things breaking around him.
So that's different.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's different. Okay. I was looking for like Michael Bay.
No. Like something around you breaks, basically.
Oh, hang on. There's a video. I need to find this now.
Lisig, every 12 hours, she gains a level of exhaustion if she doesn't steal something. I think by the time we've gotten to this point, you'll probably need to steal something soon, or else you're going to get another level of exhaustion. Because you guys like rested and stuff. Ulrich, when he sees a trap or other intricate mechanical device, you become shaky until you examine it through an investigation check.
Right.
Until then, you have disadvantage on all other mental saves and skill checks. If you don't investigate the device, you remain nervous until you're in a different room, and D6 plus D4 minutes have passed. So, Marmaduke has a runny nose. No, that's not true. That was what he had. Actually, he has 2 curses. One is a permanent curse, and he is Ulrich's loving servant. Will do whatever he says.
Oh, that's right.
And also, I think it's about time, Marmaduke, that we roll for a new curse, because the last curse that you had was you have to speak. Let's see. For the next day, everything you say must rhyme. If it doesn't, you take 1d6 psychic damage. We retconned this because at the end of we didn't do that at all last session, even though you should have been rhyming everything you said. But we did retcon it by the end of the session because it became some weird Christmas episode at the end of the session. Everything was happening in a snow globe, and we just assumed that Marmaduke was rhyming everything the whole time, like you would have in some sort of Christmas rhyme. This did happen. It was just like a weird, I don't know, like fourth wall breaking thing that I did at the end of the session. I don't know even why I did it anymore.
Because it was Christmas, man.
Well, because we haven't played since Christmas, so that was our Christmas episode, even though it was in October.
Makes sense.
But yes, that's all the curses going on right now. But you want to go ahead and roll for a new curse, Jared? What one were we rolling on?
I don't remember.
Let me see if I can
We've gone
find
through
it.
so many lists.
I know, right?
You guys picked one, and every time I think you guys ask this question, you find the list that you don't like.
Well, the issue is
I think it's fun.
We have not only the curses, but we also have wild magic.
Oh yeah, that's right. The wild magic table's different. Never mind. Don't mind me.
That's the weird stuff. Yeah.
David found the best curse one.
Yeah, the 10,000. Yeah.
Where the last one is the nearest sun explodes.
Yep, that's right.
Oh man.
Boy.
Or you lose D6 bones. And yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. Or you gain
Look,
D6
my hand's all floppy now.
Yeah.
Magic.
Look, Ma, an extra thumb.
I'm gonna touch Connor when I get that one.
Well, I don't know if there's one we've been using, but let's use this one for now. Roll a D100. $45.
Caliber.
You die.
All right.
That's the song by Shinedown, right?
45, yes.
Mhm.
You have a repulsive stench about you for the curse's duration.
Sick.
Dang
You
it.
have
Well done.
disadvantage and -5 to all charisma checks.
It's almost like we were just in a sewer.
Yeah, that's what everyone would probably
Fair.
assume, right? You also gain distrust and bad influences with townsfolk and such,
Oh,
making them
geez.
wary of you.
Oh,
In
It's
some
harsh.
cases, inns and bars will refuse to serve you.
These are rude people.
Yep.
So am I able to touch people and transfer it again, or is that still
No,
broken?
that's broken. Yep.
Okay?
Yep. All right. So that's all the stuff that happened. When we last left off with your characters, there were a few things happening. So just as a immediate recap, right? You have the priest, Caden Dunn, in your possession / you rescued him and you brought him back to the shrine. You guys like rest at the shrine, and then we'll open up on the next day, basically. So that happened. He was like unconscious and stuff, but he was alive. There was a were-rat in the sewers that or a rat person or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
In the sewers that wanted to become your cook.
Going to be my
Erastus.
new ultra sanitary cook.
Exactly. Yep. It's like Ratatouille, right? Like
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was the thing.
yeah, it was a thing.
That's
So
a great
he
movie.
came back with you to the shrine as well. You have Leftwind's body that you carried out of the sewers.
Yep.
And I have a question about that real quick. Did anyone cast like gentle repose or anything like that on him
I
to prevent him
healed
from
it because
becoming
it was
an
like
undead?
split in half, but I didn't
I
do
know you
anything
did that.
else.
Yeah.
I don't
Does
think
someone
anybody did
have like Donan? Did you have any spell like that prepared, like gentle repose or whatever? Because otherwise, he's kind of in danger of becoming an undead.
Yeah. I don't think anybody did because
I
yeah.
don't remember that.
Looking at
happening.
what I have prepared.
St. David's. I didn't know I was a character in this game.
Also, was there an update to the character sheet?
I think there was because all of
I can
these
actually
are-
read the details on my spells now. Also, I didn't have gentle repose prepared.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like
Hey
I'm
guys,
just gonna
I
make
know what
him...
boss fight we're doing next.
Well, that's the thing, right? I'm not just gonna have him become like an undead on your way back. Like that sounds boring, but well, I mean, I can assume. And you know what? It's the easy way to handle this is I assume you bring him back.
I
and one of
wanted
the
to have a
priests
scene.
at the shrine. Cast gentle repose on him.
Well, I suppose I wanted to have a scene with my character burying him anyways, which
Right.
might make something like that more dramatic. So
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
If you want to, yeah, that's was the first thing that I wanted him to do was to actually have a goal for
Yeah,
that
you
to
know
bury
what?
the
Let's
body.
do that because that makes sense, right? Because this would
And-
have happened before you guys rested, right?
It doesn't really make sense to cast gentle repose and then immediately put a body
Exactly.
on the ground. So
Okay, yeah, let's have that scene then.
Okay.
But okay, so that was happening. Let me see if there's anything else that was immediately going on. Don't
we-
think so.
did we have another goal besides getting like? Okay, so
Oh,
we
that's what we need to do. We need to look through character goals too.
right. See, so the reason I'm asking is because we had all these kids.
Yep.
We brought them here and we did this quest so that they would take the kids. But what were we trying to do before we got the kids? Well, I guess that was like the first thing. So like we were trying. Do we have anything else
there
besides?
there are several things going on right now. So you guys are trying to figure out more about Oberon and trying to stop him.
Right.
And that's kind of the background right now. But you are
Yeah.
also trying to find out about this undead apocalypse.
Right.
And you're trying to find Quelnescent and what's up with him. You're also trying to go find Oswin Gage because he's the one
Right.
who can take all of your curses away.
Okay.
That's what you know, at least. That's one person for sure who can do that. Take it all away.
That's even better.
It's a good
So out of character, which one of these like 10,000 things do we want to do so that I can write goals about? them?
Yeah, that's what we should
Because-
have a conversation about. Real quick, there's also another thing, and
sorry.
that is, what's it called? You have the magic weapon that was
That we were
originally
trying
Oswin
to
Gage
fabric,
was gonna
yeah.
sell it. Yeah, and that was the first thing you guys were
Which is
doing.
the only reason I'm with this party.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So we don't have it. We're looking for.
You're
it.
looking for that
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember having a
And
magic
Lisek
weapon.
wants that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the reason you guys wanted it is because you guys are Robin Hood and you were like, oh, let's.
yeah. We were just trying to steal stuff.
Yeah, let's steal
expensive
stuff.
thing, yeah.
We're
And then
just
also
kinda robbing.
Erastus, you probably want to go back to your castle and make
Yeah.
sure everything's fine there.
Right.
And I know Lisek has like druid things she wants to accomplish. Marmaduke has secrets of the world things he wants to accomplish. Ulrich wants
Wait,
to be
are
a
we-
good husband.
Are we actually where our icon is on the map?
Yes.
It's irrelevant.
We're like right next to my place.
Yep, it's 1 hex away.
Oh,
Yep.
all right. And that hex is how many days of travel? Like 2, I think you said, something like that.
Well, let's see what the ruler says.
It's 7 miles, so that's a day probably. I think it was a long time because it was cold winter and we had a whole bunch of children. I think that was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely move farther than 7 miles in a day.
Except that it's winter, so it's probably harder.
Yeah.
And there's undead roaming around. But
let me
and I
double
remember
check
that we
the
had
travel time that we have going
so
on
let's slow this
here.
down.
Travel pace. At a normal pace, you can move 24 miles in a day. So yeah, we can just assume
Wow.
you get there easily.
That's generous.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't walk 24 miles in a day.
That's assuming
Who
8 hours
would?
of travel. Right. So
Oh, yikes. Yeah. Okay.
you can move 30 miles in a day if you want to move at a fast pace.
Gross.
Anyway, yeah, that's a lot of walking.
Yeah. Erasmus is
So
maximum
now
a
that
day.
all of that's kind of like out on the
7
table,
miles.
let's go through our character goals. Well, actually,
Yeah.
first, let's have that conversation about
Yeah.
what you guys are interested in doing next, and then we can establish character
So-
goals.
Leads wise, do we have leads on any of these things? Because obviously, getting to my place is right there. Do we know what direction to go for the magic weapon? Do we have any leads on that for Leesig's thing?
I have certain things that I've been trying to do to figure that out, but I
Oh,
haven't
yeah, that's
succeeded
vaguely
on any of them yet.
Right.
Yeah, and in trying to
And
find
then-
Oswin Gage specifically, I don't think anyone has made a roll towards that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could probably find out where he is. I mean, he's one of the great
suppose-
wizards of England, right? So
Right. Which I don't know if that's going to make him easier or harder to find.
that's true. It
Um,
depends. It depends on if
and
he's the
then-
kind of wizard who's like, yes, everyone, come and visit me.
Right.
You know, I'm great. Or if he's like, I have an alternate dimension that I live in. Please never come.
Right. Keep out. Beware of dog.
Exactly.
Just your
Beware of
friendly
space
neighborhood wizard
Mhm.
from another dimension.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, in the immediate, right, the thing that you can do is talk to the priest, get more information about the undead apocalypse, which could lead to figuring out whether Quell or Oswin were involved in any sort, and then also with the Oberon stuff, seeing if any of that's connected to that as well.
Right. Okay. So I guess what we we got to rate goals now though. I was gonna say we could ask around and then write goals, but
I mean, yeah, write goals with the intention of knowing that you might not be able to find him this session for sure, but you could try it. You could begin that process.
Well, so I guess as a group, what do you guys want to pursue so that we can sort of agree on not wasting goals?
I mean, I think we're this close already. We should definitely go to your keep.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously I'm cool with that, but
Yeah. I don't know exactly what to do from there, other than
Yeah.
Leipzig is going to be
I have a
working on
feeling
trying
that
to figure out whatever she can about the.
yeah, I have a feeling
item.
that doing that will have its own thing because Caleb's already hinted that it's going to be a thing. Also, I imagine that there's that we could talk to people there and see if we can find information there in the same way. It might actually be easier there than in this town because this town is overrun with zombies, and hopefully mine isn't.
That's the hope, isn't it?
So, is that, Caleb, do you think it makes sense that we might be able to find some information there as well
Yeah,
about
certainly.
this stuff?
Do you have a library at your place?
I'd assume they have something.
I'd
at least.
assume, yeah.
Because that could be helpful. And then,
I mean, it certainly wouldn't be a better library than Quell's library, which you've already ransacked.
yeah, that's true.
But you didn't necessarily look for Oswin Gage information there.
Yeah, that's true. Would Quell? Yeah.
Yeah, he would probably keep track on where the other great
Well,
wizards.
Quell would definitely keep track of the other great wizards.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be in some diary of sorts.
possibly, yeah.
Put all sorts of sorted things in there.
You also did almost die when you went there last time. So.
Yeah, we kind of did, and I don't necessarily want to go back.
So my
I'm
suggestion
down
would be
for
for
going to
now, right? Like,
David's Castle.
is talk to the priest, right? There's some stuff at the shrine that needs to be done with the priest and Leftwin, that stuff, right? We can take care of all of those things. I have a few scenes too that are going to happen at the shrine just because of stuff that's happening at the shrine. And then, from there, I think it makes sense to either, since you're already in Nottingham, just make a roll or two in Nottingham, see if you can pick up any information on Osmond Gage, and then from there, move on to the castle, right? Does that sound good to everybody?
So what should my goal be?
Yeah, it's good to me.
I don't know, right? It depends on what your character cares about. Like, I guess this probably would be a conversation you would have in character.
True.
So maybe we just pick up there, but let's do goals real quick, and then we'll figure out the kind of the specifics of everything.
Did we want to do the scene with Lefwin first, or does that make sense to happen after? I think he'll probably be by himself for that scene.
Yeah, let's do the conversation first, and then we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So Ulrich, your goals that I have listed right now are be a good husband.
No, I already looked through them. Yeah, I want to change the one about. No. I'm good. I just want to change the one about Jared.
So you found out if you can trust Marmaduke without his curse. That did happen. Yeah.
So that's the only one I want to change.
Okay. So you have be a good husband, defeat a worthy opponent, and then what? I mean, you could just have it be like, find out where Oswin Gage is.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, Erastus.
Okay, my goals are...
Also, you have the Darklings Riddle Bog with you. That is also a thing.
Right.
They've grown up. They're no longer little shrimps. They're emo goth people with swords. That is also a thing.
Did we ever calculate how much HP they have?
Not a lot. They die almost immediately.
More than they did.
More than the children.
They have 27 each.
Oh, that's actually more
each.
That's more than I had last session.
You're a caster, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I mean, I have 33 now. I'm basically a tank.
Nice.
What are your goals, Erastus?
Bury Lefwin's body, return to the keep, and find out what the priests know about the undead plague. These priests.
Bury Lefwin's body. What was the second one?
Return to the keep.
Right.
My keep.
And then what was the last one?
Find out what the priests know about the undead plague.
Yeah.
Specifically,
find out what
the priests in Nottingham.
Priest knows about the undead plague. Okay, cool.
And I have 2 sessions already towards return to my keep that I was I set aside and then took back.
Okay, sounds good. I'll mark that myself. Donan.
Did I cash in the locate the priest?
Yep.
Multi-session goal. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna hold. Okay, so I want to do question the priest about the undead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Besides that, what all other things need to be wrapped up at the monastery? Or not the monastery.
With the shrine, I think you've pretty much done what the guy asked you to, right? Get back the priest. That was their
right, because that was how we were just gonna settle our debt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Suspended that one.
Yeah, this is a funny game, Anno Domini, because there's so many things going on. It's very sandbox. That's just can go wherever you want, as opposed to a game like Elysian Road, which felt sandbox but then had a very clear, defined arc.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because Elysian Road we had one quest that we did. It was kind of we kind of did one main quest.
Two main quests.
Or two
one
main
was
quests, yeah. We didn't have much downtime between them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Hephaestus Engine and then the Zanless stuff.
Right. Well, that was because we were mostly taking jobs and we didn't have a lot of background stuff to worry about, whereas this is mostly background stuff. And then
right.
Yeah.
Very true.
Right. Which
also
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
I like the kind of open-endedness of being in between jobs at this point.
Yeah. There's lots of interesting things that have just been kind of racking up in the background that we can, and then you guys, telling me, hey, let's go find Oswin Gage as a thing that gives me direction to be all right, now here's the stuff I need to plan for now. But we can still have all those seeds in the background too.
Unfortunately, the NPCs don't come with exclamation points and question marks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Favorite thing about Final Fantasy? The characters that have things that you need will have the exclamation point with the plus icon telling you want to chase this quest,
Nice.
as opposed to just having to follow every single little quest line with the exclamation point that's just go pick up flowers here, give them to somebody else who tells you it was just a prank, bro.
Don't you hate it when quests are like that?
I followed
in
an
games?
entire quest chain
Yeah.
at level 2, thinking I was just running little errands, and it turns out all this time it was like 2 or 3 people pranking me, and then somebody needed me to get livers from a frog and deliver them to their uncle because they were squeamish. Like,
And then Denna complains to you that all men buy roses, and then.
okay, yep, that too.
Anyways, yeah, that's
boy.
pretty good.
Yeah, so question the priest about the undead, visit Orestes' keep, and then Donan doesn't have many personal ambitions. I think Donan wants to learn how to fly.
Come
again?
So what do I need to do to learn how to
40
fly?
hours.
Level up to level 17.
Level up to level 17. All right.
You need 40 hours of practice.
And 40 hours of practice, yes. 10 hours of night flying.
Ooh, that sounds scary.
I mean, you had a goal that you shelved from last time, which was something about Oberon's ascension.
Finding the next step to stopping Oberon's ascension.
You could
correct.
add that one. Yeah.
I can put it back.
Are we likely to?
We're kind of in the
Yes.
middle. Okay. Like if you think that's something that can be accomplished, if you think that a next step can be found,
Yep.
and I can cash that in this session, then yeah, I'll put that
Absolutely. I've been planning on it.
back. Okay. All right. I have 2 sets of goals. Let's fix that.
Okay, so question the priest about the undead. Find the next step to stopping Oberon's ascension.
Visit Orestes' keep.
And visit Orestes' keep. Yeah. You do know that since you guys have returned to the keep and visited Orestes' keep as goals, that means I have to stop you from getting to the keep.
I mean, I was
Right?
almost 99% sure that was my curse already. So
I mean, it was that, or like I could have put a goal about something like reclaim Orestes' keep, but then doesn't that kind of
that
if
heavily
we go
implies
back
that I
and
need to fill it
something
with
happens
undead.
that you haven't filled it with undead. Now what I've done is I've made a dead goal.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Or
So
I've either made a dead goal or I've made a goal that has forced your hand into making things as difficult as possible. And I mean, I wouldn't mind a dungeon call through Orestes' keep, but at the same time, like that's a lot of blood on the carpets, you know?
it's true. But
Or
to
at
be
least
fair, there's only
undead
like
bone
3
bits.
NPCs there that matter, and it's
All right.
So as long as they're not dead,
Clear the
I won't
undead
even
from
know.
Orestes' keep, then.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a specific goal. Reach floor 3 on Orestes' keep.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Gonna be fine.
So what was your
There's
last goal
only
then?
7 miles between us and them. How much stuff can you put between us and 7 miles?
Oh, never mind. Those are your 3 goals. Okay.
Yep, those are my 3 goals.
Yeah, awesome. Marmaduke then.
See ya, Tarask.
See ya, Tarask. Oh boy,
Well,
that's an interestingly worded goal. Just see one. What will it
I
cost you,
pictured
Donan?
one in a
Who
that had
boat.
knows?
been your goal a year ago. It would have happened when I turned into one.
See, I pictured
Mhm.
C with
Nice
an
try,
A.
you didn't.
Wait.
I thought you meant like.
He
When
didn't
did you turn
actually-
into
he
a
never- He
Tarask?
tried to.
Oh, I thought I succeeded.
No.
That's right. I was going to say, I would remember if you succeeded at something as
I remember that too. Yeah, because
insane
it had
as
a low
that.
intelligence. Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it was the purple worm I transformed into.
Yeah, you did. That was the most advanced thing you did.
Oh, yeah,
Marmaduke, goals.
So we're trying to get the priest back to the shrine.
Technically, we fast forward to
We've
that.
done that already.
Oh,
That you got that.
Yeah,
last
I
time.
was gonna have that goal too, and he was like, "You're there," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess I can't do that."
Well, you guys had those sorts of goals last time. So
That's true. I think we
yeah.
actually got
Yep,
experience.
you
for
got
that last time.
experience XP for that stuff.
oh, okay.
Right.
Am I still under Connor's thrall?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I win back the party's trust yet?
You won Ulrich's, but I don't know if the whole party.
Okay. So
Up to
I'm
you
s-
guys. What do you think?
I feel like I was still saying that because he was under that curse, I didn't know for sure
That's
if I
fine.
could trust him. But I feel like I said that for like 4 sessions in a row, so I might have just said sorry and gave it to him. I can't remember.
I mean, it was the whole party, not just you and Connor.
Yeah. I guess I meant for my part.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, serve my master, win back the party's trust, and now we're going to your keep.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll be get to the keep.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. Get to the keep. Okay.
Dead or alive?
I carry your corpse to the gates.
Okay. Lisa.
Don't word it like that, or else Caleb will screw you.
If you're dead, you can't get XP. All right, Carl's. Where are Lisa's goals?
So first goal, steal something because I need to keep my curse at bay. And the implied, in parentheses to this session for that is steal something at Erastus's keep.
Yes.
Earn the errant's forgiveness / annul my exile.
Yep.
And then get back what was stolen from me.
Cool. Get back what was stolen to me. And you can actually work on it this time because you're going to try to get to Osmond Gage. Sounds good. Man, that was a fun little conversation of like, what's the direction of the game? And
yeah, it's nice to have everything mostly refreshed now. Refreshed. Yep. That's
really confused as to what you said there.
That's like that's part of the process of making an undead.
I mean, that's true. Every once in a while, you got to redo the upholstery. I mean,
yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and start with
the
conversation that you guys are going to have in character. So you guys have gotten to the shrine. Leftwind's body is like nearby, and you're about to go bury him. But then you guys are having like a quick conversation about like, okay, what's up? What are we doing? And so I guess like, how does that start? Unless we don't think there needs to be a conversation like that at this point. Unless it's just assume we're just like, we'll talk to the priest and then we'll go to Erastus's keep.
I mean, I guess we've probably had this discussion on the way back from the sewers.
We can just assume that. Yeah.
Like, because we just had the discussion. I mean,
yeah,
that's fair.
No, and that's totally fine. I realized that as soon as I said it, that we had kind of already gone through that. But just in case there were any like in character like specific reasonings or whatever, objections that you wanted to iron out in character.
Also, I realized I got the best spell ever last session when I leveled up. So when we get the shot of us going back towards the thing, I am on a glittering celestial stag. So it's okay. That's a thing that happens.
Okay. Well,
that hasn't
happened yet, but we'll get there.
Well, I figured I would cast it on the way back, but
oh, really?
I summoned a spirit.
You're in the sewers?
While we're going back to the priest.
Right. So you get out of the sewers and you just start.
Yeah.
You ride through the town, carrying Leftwind's body on the back of this big old stag. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's an elk. Let's see. It's a celestial. It has if it has an intelligence of 5 or less, it becomes 6 and gains the ability to understand one language of my choice, which I'm going to go with common. Let's see. I have an instinctive bond with it that allows me to fight as a seamless unit. While mounted, I can make any spell that is cast at me. You can make any spell you cast that targets only you also target your steed. Okay, so if I cast a buff on me, my horse gets it too. If it goes to 0, it disappears. I can dismiss it anytime as an action. And in either case, restoring or casting a spell summons the same steed, restore it to maximum HP.
Yep.
If it's within a mile of me, I can communicate it with it telepathically. And I can't have more than one at a time.
Cool.
So that's a lot of words, but it's cool.
My question for you is, are you trying to draw attention to yourself, or are you trying not to, or do you not care?
I don't know that I have any way of not doing that. I feel like that's
right. So I guess my question is,
charisma. I think
you know that people are going to notice this. Are you trying to imprint a specific thing with that? Like, are you going to want to be intentional about this, or?
I don't think he's being intentional. I think he's unintentionally ostentatious.
Okay.
People are gonna remember a celestial elk.
Exactly. Right. So I was just saying, like, does he want to play into that at all? Yeah.
No, yeah. I don't think he's aware of the fact that he's being obnoxious, but I don't think he can do anything else.
We're not playing into it because this isn't the Four Horsemen.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. Yeah.
Still one of the best conceits for a story that we've had.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you guys walk back, or alternatively ride back to the shrine. There are lots of beggars that just like stare at you, Erastus, and your mighty stag.
Celestial horses doesn't necessarily mean gold. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys get back to the shrine. We kind of already fast forward through all of that, and let's go ahead and start with Erastus burying Lefwin. Where do you do this?
So I wanted to, like, as the others go into the shrine or whatever, I wanted to not go in specifically because the children are there and I don't want them to see this.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go out into. Is there a celebrity? Wow, I need to go to bed. How did I get celebrity of cemetery? Anyways, is there a cemetery nearby?
A cemetery? Yeah, sure.
I mean, the whole place is a cemetery at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go out to the cemetery and look around to see if anybody is nearby. I assume no one's dumb enough to be out in the cemetery.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it.
All right.
Safe
except
bet.
me, you know.
Except for you.
Yeah. So then I think he dismounts his elk, who I'll probably have to name, and he sort of, he's slips the body over his shoulder because he had it sort of over the back of the elk, and so rests it on the ground. And I think he had his cloak or a blanket or something wrapped around it, and so he unwraps it. Or I'll probably wait till I've dug the pit. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a shovel. I might have to go in and get a shovel.
Yeah, we can assume you grabbed a shovel from somewhere. It's not that important.
Yeah, so I think he just sort of kneels down, or he starts digging or whatever, and you know, the time passes and he digs the hole. Unless you want me to make a roll and see how tired I get digging the hole.
No, you're good.
Okay.
3 levels of exhaustion.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I think he goes over to the body, and before he sets it down, he sort of just kneels next to it and sort of slumps his head. And yeah, I mean, he was being pretty flippant up until now, even though this had happened, like with the rat guy and everything. Nothing really changed in his demeanor, but I think mostly that was him trying to put on a face. So like now that he's by himself, just with the body, he like sort of lets that fade, and there's a lot of just like his expression looks really weary, and he just kind of shakes his head and he says, "I'm sorry, boy. This is what I get, I suppose, for assuming I could take on I don't know what this was, an apprentice, I suppose. That's what I get for bringing a child into a sewers. He shakes his head and he's just like, I shouldn't have let you convince me, and this is my fault, and I know it." And he just sort of like closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, and it's like, you deserve better than me. And then he goes to lower the body into the hole and starts, you know,
is it still wrapped up, or did you?
No, he's unwrapped it at that point when he's speaking to the.
All right, yeah. So as you lower it down, obviously what happens is the corpse opens its eyes and then grabs your throat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he yelps and like tries to stumble back, but
yeah, and like the thing is, like, this is just a zombie, so like you can handle a zombie. You do whatever you want, right? This is just obviously what happens because of the undead apocalypse.
Yeah. So he stumbles back at first, and he like doesn't want to do anything about it, so he's just kind of like hesitating. But I assume it just keeps shambling towards him. So then he eventually.
And it looks like Lefwin, or what was Lefwin, is trying to mumble something or say something, but it's like unintelligent. It's a zombie, and then it kind of like reaches out to you, and the way that his face is, it's very unclear to you. And you can make an insight check to know for sure, but it's very unclear to you whether or not this is mindless hunger or if there's some other more complex emotion going on. 18.
Yeah.
I think you're still unsure. It's subtle enough that like maybe it's just your mind playing tricks on you or whatever, but it almost looks like he's like, you can almost imagine in your head, Erastus, that he's about to say like, how dare you, or like, why did you lead me to this, like that sort of thing, right?
Right.
But it never actually gets out any words, and then just keeps shambling towards you.
Yeah, so I think he, his more and more emotion on his face, whatever, he's struggling with having to kill him again, or get him killed again, I guess. And then eventually, he just hold his hand out, and his curved like bone greatsword like shimmers into it, and he, I think he basically swings without even kind of like looking. He just kind of looks like swings and sort of looks away, and waits for the zombie to stop moving, and then
eventually you just hear that it's gone.
Yeah, and then I think he sighs and like puts the blanket over the corpse again, and then lowers it down in because he doesn't want to look at it now that it's been slashed. Yeah, and then he starts filling in the hole.
Yeah, and as you do, you notice from the corner of your eye that there is a man, kind of like upper middle ages. He has a half beard, kind of like a short cropped beard, and he is like sitting on like the fence, like the wooden fence around this cemetery, and he's smoking a pipe.
Trying to make a decision.
Yes, thanks. Yep. He's like, I could go this way or that way. I'm not sure yet. No.
Can I?
So he looks at you, and he kind of like, he's smoking this pipe, and then he takes it away from his lips, and he says, "Wow, that must have been hard."
Yeah, he just looks at the guy and he says, "This isn't a safe place for wanderers. There's a zombie incursion or a outbreak on, in case you hadn't noticed."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this guy's like wearing like what you maybe assume is like some sort of like miner's outfit, so like this kind of ratty cap and worker's clothes.
Figured, yeah.
And sorry, what was the last thing you said?
He said this isn't a safe place to be for wanderers.
Yeah.
There's a zombie incursion.
Yeah, he kind of nods to himself and says, "It certainly wasn't a safe place." No, how would he say this? Nowhere is safe right now, I don't think.
Yeah, he just shrugs. Fair enough. What are you doing here?
Nothing in particular. Just keeping an eye on some things. I have a question for you.
Yes?
Where did you get that accoutrement there? It's quite distinctive. And the beast.
He says, the beast is a gift from a patron. The equipment I stole from someone else. And he like snaps and his sword vanishes.
Right. He kind of just like nods, like almost like impressed. And then he kind of like smiles, which kind of slightly unnerves you.
Yeah.
And he says, "Is there anything on the kid that you don't want anymore? I'm a grave digger by profession these days."
Well, it's an unfortunate profession, given the circumstances.
Depends on what you're. It depends on why you're trying to dig out the graves. He smiles again.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Is he a necromancer? I got a 13.
You're not sure if he's just joking with you or what. I think you know that he knows the implication he just made, but you're not sure if it's a joke or not.
I squint at him and I say, unfortunately, he didn't have a lot when he was alive, and seems to have less now. And just kind of shrugs. I guess he had my shield and like a sword, which I probably didn't. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have buried the sword because it was Ulrich's, so I probably kept that. But I'll bury him with my shield because I feel like sort of compelled to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't mention that. No.
Okay. So he gets off the fence and he starts like walking towards you. Takes another whiff of his pipe, and and he's just kind of like walking towards you, and he says, mind if I take a peek? For curiosity's sake.
I do, actually. And I've only just filled the hole. It was quite a lot of work. Unless this was before I filled the hole, in which case.
No. I mean, you're kind of like halfway through.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Filling it, yeah. Enough that he could probably like just quickly like show off some of the dirt and look at it if he wanted to.
Then he just says the first half,
yeah.
which was that he doesn't mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he keeps walking towards you, and when he gets, you know, an uncomfortable closeness, but not enough that you would actually like attack him or anything.
Right.
He just kind of like looks down at the hole, looks back up at you, and then says, Erastus, I'm going to want to take a look at that body. Are you going to step aside, or are we going to have a more violent arrangement?
I am going to cast a spell.
Okay.
It is a second level spell. Let's see. Let me make sure I actually want to do this a second. It's verbal and somatic. Okay. Okay. I cast Zone of Truth on myself.
Okay.
Which is a charisma saving throw, which for me is 16 DC.
Okay, so you're doing it like, you know, centered
it's
on yourself.
It's a 15-foot cube, but on myself, so that
yeah.
he has to be in it to be near the body.
Right.
Because it doesn't move, I don't think. So.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so he... Let's take a look at this. He, sorry, I'm trying to find what he would actually be rolling here. So it was charisma, you said?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, charisma.
All right. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Crit fail 1.
Dude.
So that's terrible.
Yikes. So yeah, he sort of makes a gesture in the air that trails like a black and white light, I think, or like a mist. I can't remember my spell effects for scared. I think it was mist. It trails like a mist, and yeah, he just says like a word in, I don't know if I know any cool languages. I think I know Celestial, right? Not important. He says it in Celestial. He says, first you're going to have to tell me how you know my name.
Okay. So he casts a spell.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Okay. Boop. 11. That's not going to be good.
That fails definitely. You are now deaf.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just remember, I guess.
So that happens, and then he says something that you can't hear.
Let me see.
Tara, leave it.
You're just deaf?
I mean, I'm sure it has
a time limit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me check how long Zone of Truth lasts for. It lasts for, it's only 10 minutes. Okay. Then, yeah, I think I just cross my arms and stand there. I don't know how long his spell lasts for, but I'm going to find out if mine lasts longer. So he just crosses his arms in front of the hole and stands there.
Sure.
And waits.
So he goes to just like look at the body. That's what he starts doing.
Yeah, if he goes towards it, then I'll put my hand on him to like stop him.
Okay, yeah. He looks at you and then mouths very clearly so you can understand what he's saying. He says, "You don't want to do that."
Yeah, and he just shakes his head slowly and like keeps his hand there.
Okay, so make a persuasion test for me.
Mm-hmm. Persuasion, 15.
Okay, so he squints at you, and then he kind of like shrugs, takes a step back, and then like does something, and then the deafness like goes away. Gestures or whatever. And then he says, fair enough. Well, Erastus, you've convinced me. Apparently this random peasant boy is important enough to you that you're willing to risk the ire of... Interesting.
And
he's taking a couple steps back at this point.
Right. He says, I owe him that much at least for what I put him through. Now, are you going to answer my question? How do you know my name? And if he's only a few feet away from me, he's still in the zone.
Right, yeah. He says, you know one of my rivals. And then he just turns and like starts to walk away.
I mean, I have a suspicion. I don't know if Erastus has a suspicion with my intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm
you
just
can make an
make
intelligence check, yeah.
Save.
Yeah.
I only got a 12. I don't really know how great that is.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm sure all of us as players know what's happening.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, before he says it kind of quickly, trying to get him before he gets out of the zone. Not that it will matter. He says, "So who does that make you then?" Does it follow? I don't think it follows me.
Yeah, so you say, who does that make you then? Yeah. He says, how do you say this? The man who won. And he keeps walking away.
I would also like to, just last second, as he's leaving, use a paladin ability, if I can find it here. I'm going to use Divine Sense, which allows me to detect anything affected by the Hollow spell or the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. So I want to trigger that just to see if he's got any celestial fiend or undead.
He is not a celestial fiend or undead, no.
Okay, I kind of figured, but I just thought I'd check.
Yeah, it's a good thing to check.
All right, and then with that, he just turns around and starts filling in the like his eyes turn into mist for a little while, like a couple seconds, and then he blinks it away and turns back to the hole and starts filling.
Yeah, so you start filling in the hole. Let's go ahead and take our first break there, and then we'll come back. No, you're good. And we'll come back, and there's plenty of other scenes, plenty of other things going on that we will take care of. And I need to take care of my dog because she's being super dramatic right now. We'll be back with more Anno Domini right after this. Stick around.
I wonder where she learned it from.
Wow.
Oh, man.